your eyes. Everything's about externalness. You said, we just had an interesting exchange when we were off the air. When I came in August and I spoke, I did something that I have never done before and I haven't done it since. I tried to sell at the end of the platform on an external area. Did not do it as well as I usually do.
It was my fault.
And it
was my fault. I told him to.
Because I thought I shouldn't do it. She's like, just try it. She said, just try it.
I was external.
Yeah. She's like, just try it. I said, no, it's not going to work. She said, try it. So I did it.
Perspective determines action.
Yeah.
Right.
And you came up to me after the show and said, that was a bomb. You shouldn't have done that. Our guys are educated. They're smarter. They're more internal. And I thought I knew you were right. And then just 5 seconds ago, you said, did that offend your eyes? Which was really classy to ask that question. Fortunately, I was internal and it didn't. Had I been external, I would not be here today. And look at what I would have lost by not being here.
I just don't like promoting and appealing to the scarcity mindset and fear of loss. And the thing is, when people become educated in that, I'll tell you, in 90% of rooms you go and you sell with fear of loss, and people are like throwing their credit card, they're running up there, they're chasing things down. But if you do it in a room where people have gone through a transformation, they start to understand it's a repellent because they recognize it's in the consumer condition. So, I could even tell you're uncomfortable when you were presenting that, and I felt like it wouldn't have been good for me not to mention that to you. Yep. Because one, if you would have left, you might have thought, well, why didn't I get more people sign up? This should be a high-level group, Well, I wanted to let you know so that when you came back, we didn't go through that same experience and that you were able to engage people's eyes and get them to sign up, and it would be in their best interest, because even if they paid money, if it's an investment, they'll end up making more by discovering that, and it's a win-win relationship.
One of your eyes is to educate and to teach, correct?
Sure.
So you were educating and teaching me. Principle 3, you couldn't let me leave without educating me.
Right.
So let's say you can't go internal. Let's say it takes you a little while to do it. You can still consciously realize everything that someone says to you is them meeting their eyes. So even if I was external at the point, I could have identified, you know what? I know his eye is this. Therefore, I'm not going to take offense to it. So you can at least consciously realize, you know what? All verbiage comes from your eyes. You defend your eyes in everything you say and everything you do. So if someone offends you and you're currently not internal, look at what they're saying and look at the pattern. That's them just defending their eyes.
We all make mistakes. We all learn lessons. It's constant. I mean, even as we shift from scarcity to abundance, it's not like it was a one-time shift and we're just there. As we start to recognize our potential, live it by producing and creating value for others, it actually takes us to another level that we didn't even know existed. Yep. But it existed before. We just couldn't recognize it. We didn't have an awareness to it. So I'm sure that even when we listen 5 years from now to the radio, we'll say, yeah, that was all true, but even think about this, and we might think of more powerful ways to articulate or experience in our life that allows us to teach a lesson at a deeper level, because, there's things that we say, and then there's things that we do, and then realize that what we said was even more powerful than we thought at the time. We knew it was truth, but when you live it, you're just like, whoa, that is really profound. Like in my mind, I always think, man, I know these principles are true. The thing that would test me most is if something happened to my second eye, my family. Something happens there. Am I internal enough that I would still move forward? I would still be able to be prosperous. I'd still be able to believe in this and live it. And I think inevitably, of course, that would be the case. But that would be a great test. That would be a great difficulty or a massive lesson.
I have found that people who get involved in the producer revolution, they're unfortunately, it doesn't tend to be a couple jumping in at once together. What my experience is leading me to understand and to see is that typically there's one individual who has decided enough is enough, and they jump in. Now, it may be years and a lifetime until the next person, the other partnership in that relationship, decides to jump in also, right? And I've had this conversation with my wife because I am like Woody and Garrett. And there are a lot of individuals I know that jump into the producer revolution, and it could be the woman, it could be the man. They are highly motivated, highly pumped. Their eyes are being met. They're moving forward. They're transitioning from externalized to internalized, and their life is moving forward with the principles.